Hello, I'm Dr. Maurie Markman from City of Hope, and I wanted to briefly discuss a very interesting paper, probably a bit controversial, but nevertheless one to point out the data. So the paper is entitled Alcohol Consumption Patterns and Mortality Among Older Adults with Health-Related and Socioeconomic Risk Factors. And this was published in JAMA Network Open. This was 135,000 individual participants in a very large multi-year major effort in the UK. It's the UK Biobank. This is a population-based cohort that they were looking at here. And this is only a small part of this huge effort in the UK. The particular participants that they were looking at here were they defined as current drinkers, and that could be occasional all the way up to heavy, age 60 or older. And again, that's the 135,000 individuals I'm referring to. The data was analyzed from September 2023 to May 2024. And they divided the population into, I guess, four groups. What they called occasional drinkers. I guess, again, that's very social drinker, occasionally, how you define that. But then they defined three other categories: low risk, moderate risk, and high risk. And those were much more clearly defined and stated in the paper about the amount of alcohol consumption each individual had per day. And the question therefore was, what is the relationship to the amount of an individual stated they drank alcohol versus the occasional drinker and the risk of cancer? And the answer is there was no protection from only being a low risk or a low level drinker. All of the populations had a higher risk of cancer compared to the occasional drinkers. The low risk was not protected. The high risk actually had a hazard ratio of 1.39, that's 39% increase. Moderate risk, 15, hazard ratio 1.15, and low risk 1.11. So there was a higher risk. It went up as the more individual drank. But the point to be made is that someone says, oh, I drink a certain amount each day, there's no impact on my risk of cancer. These data do not support that conclusion. Again, much more to be discussed about this topic. An interesting analysis, very large population-based, very carefully controlled analysis being done here, but an important point for future conversation. And I thank you for your attention.